Welcome to Water-Fed Wednesdays, everybody. Welcome to episode 18. This is Rebecca Chapla with Tucker USA, and I have the privilege of Mary Simpson, Membership and Events Director of the IWCA today. Thank you so much for joining us, Mary.
No problem. Thanks you, Rebecca. I appreciate it.
Yep. So before we get into all the cool and exciting highlights of the upcoming IWCA convention next week in Vegas, just a few things. Tucker has our Filter February promo all month long, which is 20% off all filters in DI resin. We have a special promo coming your way tomorrow, so please stay tuned to our social media accounts or visit us online at tuckerusa.com. And friends, if you have any questions about the IWCA, the event, its program, anything, don't hesitate to comment and we will get to you throughout the podcast. Looks like we have Joseph on the line. Thanks for joining us. Is it Joe or Joseph? It seems like he's a friend of yours, Mary.
It's Joe. That's
Okay.
IWCA President, Board of Directors, Joe.
Hey,
He's joining us to say hi.
no pressure, Joe. Just my fourth time being on a podcast. So Mary, thanks again for joining us. This was kind of last minute. I asked Mary to join me last week, and this is the first female-to-female podcast in Tucker history. So making things happen over here. Just wanted to get to know you. I just met Mary here online just a couple months ago. She's been super helpful for the Tucker team and for the Tucker brand. Let's learn a little bit more about you, your history with the IWCA, your role, and what do our friends need to know a little bit about you?
Sure, yeah. So, fun facts is that I kind of stumbled into the window cleaning industry through a friend who had a window cleaning business and they needed some help in the office and some other things. And that's how I got started, as I was answering the phone lines for a local window cleaning business out here in Boise, Idaho. And I ended up coming on board, and they happened to be part of the IWCA and were members. And we're actively involved with them at the time, and we're going to conventions and everything. And so for the first year I was with them, I was just helping hold down the fort back home when they all went off to convention. But all I could hear about when they came back was about this convention, this convention, that, all about how much fun they had and how much they learned and how much, I mean, they just brought back massive amounts of things for me to do when they came back, of things to implement and to go. And I was like, I need to know about this place. So I ended up getting involved with the convention committee through the IWCA and volunteering my time with them. I went to my first convention in Orlando, Florida, back in 2021, 2022, something like that. And and then we ended up just hitting it off from there. One thing led to another, where I eventually ended up working full-time for IWCA's in a volunteer role. And then eventually into a staff role. And so, and I'm now kind of leading the role with this event. So I'm really excited about the upcoming convention, but more just that it's my cup of tea. I love event planning. I come from an event planning and customer service background, and so it just really fit with me. And window cleaners are just my kind of people. So
Well, I'm hearing you're a rock star. Thanks, Kevin, for joining us today. I want to also give kudos to the IWC and their volunteers. I know that it takes a team, a village to build, and for all of the thankless jobs and volunteers, we do appreciate you building this event and building this program, because I know a lot of it is volunteer work. We recognize that here at least Tucker. So
very much so.
So as a newbie here, I've done conventions myself. I've done 500 C-suite level conventions. It's a lot of work. How does that process and that planning look into? So how does the IWCA select your speakers and the sessions for the following year? I'm looking at your calendar. I don't even know which ones I want to attend because they all seem attractive. So how what's your strategy there?
Yeah, I hear that a lot. That's probably my biggest thorn in my side as an event planner is being able to put it all into a time that we can all be able to attend everything, right? So the short answer of that is really, pick your priorities for yourself and for your company and what your goals are for this particular year, because a lot of things do come back year after year or come back in a different way, shape, or form. And so you may be able to catch it later on. I do tell people, because there is so much and it is kind of overwhelming, to certainly take time to review the schedule and make a plan. We do use an app called Guidebook that has kind of an individual schedule on it where you can say add to my schedule, and it will add that class to your personal schedule. So to just give you your own schedule for the day, give you little reminders, like, hey, 10 minutes for this class starts and things like that. So it's useful, but really keep on track with what is your goal this year. That's the best way, I think, to look at the calendar and the schedule of events. But for myself as an event planner, picking and choosing, I should say, I take the feedback from my members, my board of directors, anyone that's come to a convention. We do surveys at the end of all of our sessions. Again, through that app that I was just mentioning, there's a reminder to do a survey at the end of each one. And then we also do convention related surveys, like a one-time survey at the end. That's like not just like a good, great, bad type thing, but some genuine questions in there where we really vet and ask, like, what kind of classes do you want to see next year? Which ones did you like this year? Which ones did you not like this year? How was the food? Was the food okay? Did you want to see something different? All those little pieces and parts, because they really do play into this.
So, I must have missed that guidebook app. So that's just something you can download right now and just kind of follow the direction during the convention.
Yes, actually, there'll be an email blast coming out at the end of this week that's going to be a know before you go that will have that QR code in there, as well as the direct link to the app, as well as we'll have it available at registration for anybody to scan when they come and get their badge. It's a super simple process, and it's not something you really need to preemptively have ahead of time, just something you definitely want to use when you're there. That's when you're going to take your surveys. That's where you're going to have your virtual schedule that's going to be right there in front of you. But online right now, we do have the schedule posted, and I like to print it off and write things on the side columns.
Hey, that's what I got right here.
See? Old school. That's the way we got to do it. I'm a notebook girl, man, and sticky notes all the way.
And one thing that I can really appreciate about this schedule for anyone who's listening or debating about coming, I really love how you separated or indicated these sessions directly towards technician and employee, manager and owner operator, and then admin and others. So I really feel that it's beneficial for every aspect of your leadership team. There's also one thing that's and I know our teams are small. You also have some social media, some marketing events in here, some sessions, which as a marketer, obviously I love. So there really is a great variety for every single person on the team. So it definitely seems of added value. Doesn't matter what role you play in the organization.
Definitely. And I say, if you could bring, the owner and the manager and your ops guy, one of your techs, if you could bring all those people and, your sales, your admin office, of course, you're going to have those tracks, those classes where you can divide and conquer, right? Where you guys can all get your information. But I get a lot of people ask me, well, I'm a technician, but I also am an owner operator and I want to learn about this class. Am I stuck to this role? No, these tracks are just suggestions. These are just kind of color coded to help draw your attention to maybe something that's easier for you on that. So we definitely try to help people out with understanding what category of what they might maybe more geared towards on the hands-on piece, but nothing's set in stone by any means. Everyone's welcome in any of the classes. So.
Yeah, we have a little comment, or not a little, but a comment from Kevin. The solar class has some really cool instructors. Is that Kevin?
Yes, actually, Kevin, as well as Steve Williams out of the UK, is going to be joining us again with ISCA, and they're going to be teaching the solar safety certification class. So it is actually one of our additional classes with one of our corresponding members. It's because a corresponding member with IWCA, meaning that they have their own set of classes as well that they can offer and certifications. And so we do have that still open. Those registrations will stay live throughout the entire time for anyone that's still interested in joining until that class, of course, fills up. And they are taking those at the ISCA.org.
Hey, and I want to kind of chime in as a marketer here. Even at Tucker USA, I will say one of the biggest keywords that are driving searches to our website right now is actually solar cleaning. So I just did a little analysis for last month. So this is a big rising topic, and I don't as a newbie, again, I don't think people realize the safety hazards that it does come with the industry with the solar panel. I watch a lot of videos. I watch a lot of social media. A lot of people are doing it wrong. And there's a lot of hazards. So I respect that this is going to be a huge topic, and I encourage all of our audience, whether you're just doing window cleaning or you're just doing solar, I highly recommend this. A huge topic, especially I know with some of our Puerto Rico, Florida businesses. It's definitely a high topic of demand.
Definitely. And I agree with you, Rebecca. I think that the awareness and just the understanding, that's what I love about being in like the convention and just being part of these groups is the fact that we get to have these conversations and that we get to educate each other about it, because I don't think that people are out there doing these things on purpose by any means. Most of the time it's just because they're not aware, they don't understand. And that's why it's so important to me to bring safety and education to window cleaners, solar panel cleaners, water fed pool users, everyone out there, because it matters so much to me. That's what made me get into this, was a volunteer, was someone I knew personally, got injured, cleaning windows. And I was like, hey, we need to figure this out. We need to figure out why the safety standard isn't going on and what's going on here. And opened my eyes big time.
I know it's definitely a huge, important topic factor for Sean, our fearless leader over here. So let's talk some two things that I wanted to bring of attention. The first timers reception. So when is that? How many people do you expect? Why must I attend as a first timer?
Yes. So you must attend as a first timer because it is the time to have that exposure with other people that are right there with you, that are first timers as well, but also with our board of directors. We invite our vendors to come, like yourself. I know Sean is hopefully going to be able to attend as well. We invite all of our vendors to come and be able to have that one-on-one opportunity to network, because the networking piece of the convention is the biggest takeaway you get. I mean, yeah, you're going to get education, you're going to be taught these things, but we all know it's digital world. We can look those up online. We can take classes online now. We can do those things, right? But that talking to each other, that face-to-face conversations and networking that you get, the value is the biggest piece. And so the first timers event is at 6:00 on Tuesday night. That is the first night of the convention. And that is next Tuesday. So that's February 11th. And that is at the Troy Liquor Lounge. If you were with us 2 years ago, it is in the same location as it was. That is a bar that's located at the Golden Nugget, that is on the second story there. And we do encourage anyone who's not only a first timer, but maybe you're a new member this year. Maybe you've come to 3 or 4 conventions, but never decided to join on membership. Well, members matter as well, we feel. And so we are kind of mixing it up a little bit this year and inviting our new members as well and calling it a new member mixer as well. And we are really excited to see everybody there. You'd asked me how many people. I'm going to say we're going to have probably at least 150, 200 people, but we got some drinks and snacks, so come on by.
Well, I'll be there. I will also be attending the women's luncheon, which I
Yes.
am super pumped for. I will bring my date, Iris Gavin, with me. And as, again, a newbie, I don't want to keep using that as an excuse. I don't see a lot of women calling me or contacting us at Tucker. And I'd love to see how many women are you expecting there, and how can we help encourage more women to come to this luncheon or just to get involved in the IWCA?
Yeah, very, very true. So, I don't feel like it's necessarily always a women's industry, right? But I feel like we're definitely up and coming in this industry way more than ever before. And for us to encourage that, because I think at the convention, a lot of times we would just have ladies that were window cleaners as well, but maybe their husbands were the ones that owned the business, right? And were the ones that were there as the member and stuff. And they were just kind of like in the background, and we're like, hey, you matter too. So we developed the women's luncheon a few years back to invite those women to all have an intimate space to be able to have those conversations and talk about the things that women want to talk about how our PPE isn't fitting correctly, about how certain things aren't made for us, right? About these things that we all want to talk about. And so it gives us that opportunity to do that with one another. We always do cap it at 50 women, and it is by invitation. And so if you are a woman that's coming to the convention and you haven't yet been invited, please reach out to me so I can make sure you have a seat. I do have some spaces still available. So
Now, is it just a luncheon and a seating networking, or is there a speaker by chance, or is it fully just us getting to know each other gals? Okay.
yeah, it's totally us. So I'm just going to fair warn anyone that hasn't been there, i.e. Rebecca. No, I just want to tell you, because we do ask this. And so we do, we have a little intro. We don't really have a speaker. We have a little intro where we just all stand up individually and say like what our name is, where we came from, and like what we're there for, right? So that we can get that opportunity to just get to know each other. It's kind of like our little icebreaker, I guess. And that's the only speaking involved. But by the time we get through that and have our conversations at lunch, before you know it, it's time to go. So an hour goes by fast.
Perfect. Please, ladies, I encourage you to attend. I look forward to meeting each and every one of you, and I'm sure Mary does as well. Look forward to growing this as much as we can. Another topic I'd love to discuss is just the charity component of the IWCA. There's a lot of community ties and some other efforts that the IWCA is doing. Tell us a little bit about that maybe none of us know about.
Yeah, sure. So a couple of things that at least are happening this year, the upcoming next week, is we do have a charity cleaning. Every year we like to give back to normally somewhere in the city or the facility that we're staying at or somewhere that we can help with. And this particular year, since we are going to be at the Golden Nugget in Las Vegas, we are actually taking on a Boys and Girls Club that's just down the street, not very far from that location. So anyone that's interested in helping out with the charity cleaning is going to be at the convention. You're welcome just to meet us at the hotel lobby that morning. It is on the schedule. It is going to be Thursday morning at 8 a.m. is when we asking you guys to meet. We're going to kind of all go over together as a group. But in regards to other things that we do, we have a great foundation. It's kind of our charity branch of the IWCA. It's called IWCLF, or Legacy Foundation. And we have for the last few years given our silent auction donations all to that charity, which do help with a bunch of different scholarships throughout the year. We help window cleaners get to the convention. We help them if they get injured or hurt, or let's say their house burned down. I mean, we've helped with a lot of different things that we try to just make sure that everyone's taken care of. And so that is our charity branch. And so in order to keep that going, we do donate our proceeds of the silent auction to that. And so that is a tradition that we are going to continue this year.
And does your award have anything to do with this? A little birdie told me that you will be getting a fellowship award.
Yes, thank you so much, Rebecca. Yeah, I'm so incredibly honored to even be nominated, let alone have been voted for. But there is a fellowship award in honor of one of our previous members, Mary Benny, and it is in regards to with that great attitude that he had of being able to give back, that we give to a charity of that fellowship award winner recipients is their choice. And I, of course, standing with tradition for the last few years since the Legacy Foundation has been developed, I have decided to continue that tradition of letting those proceeds go to Legacy Foundation again.
That's great. And they can just go online and learn more about the scholarship programs at IWC.org. If you have any questions, please reach out to them directly. Definitely seems like a great support system, especially for those who haven't been a member, thinking about it, or maybe you're just on the cusp, you're breaking even this year. I would definitely encourage you to reach out and learn more about those programs. And I think that the other topic is going to a lot of conventions. Some of the courses I've seen are recorded. I'm not sure if you're doing that, but what is, I guess, the benefit from one owner operator to another, more of the benefits of attending versus just relying on those online courses or those recorded courses?
Yeah, very true. This particular year, we're not doing a lot of recordings. We are doing some media coverage and things like that with our recordings, but nothing's going to be like a start to finish classroom setup. But we have had that in the past. We have it online. I know other places have those kind of things too. The value I can tell you from the difference in that is, like we were mentioning before with the first timers event. Imagine that small group of people, now times that by 5, 6, we're talking 500-600 people, more likely you're going to be at this convention. And now you have that opportunity to network and talk with all of those people. And that is the biggest piece. It is those conversations you have in the hallways. It's the times that you're standing next to somebody that you didn't know, waiting in line for your food at breakfast or getting a cup of coffee. It's the outdoor demonstrations and you're like, I've never seen that tool. And somebody sitting next to you starts talking about how they implement in their business last year. Those things are what makes the convention. The classes are amazing. Every piece about them, not going to lie about any of that, but those little side conversations that you have about those classes in between, or things that you want to pick other people's brains about, is the main meat and potatoes of this.
That's excellent. So we can start. I'm not sure if we're going to have any questions, but I'm definitely keeping an eye out right now. So registration ends tonight.
Yes. Yeah, that's the biggest thing I just want to get across today for everybody is today's the last day, guys. Online registration ends tonight at midnight. Got to cut it off. I mean, I will accept on-site registrations. Don't get me wrong, but they're going to be up in monies, and it's going to be, you have to wait in line and all that fun stuff that none of us like to do. The reason we cut registration off today is because we have an amazing badge printing system that everything goes into. So you walk up, you put your name in, you push the button, and it spits it out for you. So please go on to IWCA.org/2025 convention. That is the events page of our convention. You can get there from our main web page as well. That is where you're going to register. It's going to close tonight at midnight. As I'd mentioned earlier, we talked about some solar stuff. We do have other certification classes being offered from other corresponding members like PWNA, for instance. Anything that's an additional registration, those are going to stay live and they're still going to stay open. Don't worry about those. Please still go in and register those because those seats are limited. But as for the rest of it, it will close tonight, guys.
All right. Well, thank you so much for having us. I'm looking forward to it. This is a must-attend event, everybody. Owner operators, start 2025 off great with the greatest. I'm looking forward to meeting and greeting a lot of people out there. If any of you are out there, please hit me up. We'll be at booth 5. Again, at the Women's Luncheon, and I will be at First Timers event, and we'll see you there. Thank you so much, Mary, for joining us today and being my co-host. And for all of our friends listening, don't forget about that 20% off Filter February. Go online today or call us. Check out our social media. I've got something fun promo tomorrow for the rest of the week. So thank you, everyone, for joining us. And until next time, thanks, Mary.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Bye.